So you want to join the Marines. If you're getting ready to take the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB, and you need to understand how it's scored, well, I've got news for you. There are actually a few different scores for this one test, so stick with me and I'll explain it all. Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel from Study.com. My name is Matt and I'm a U.S. Army vet and an ASVAB test prep expert. In today's video, I'm going to cover everything that you need to know about understanding your scores on the ASVAB, especially if you're looking to enlist in the U.S. Marine Corps. Let's get started by breaking down the scoring system and interpreting the results. The ASVAB has 9 or 10 subtests depending on whether you're taking the computer or the paperized version. These subtests check out your knowledge in different areas like general science, arithmetic reasoning, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and mathematics knowledge. The other areas are electronics information, auto and shop information, mechanical comprehension, and assembling objects. You'll get a standard score for each one of the subtests. So what's a standard score? It's basically how you stack up against other people your age, specifically 18 to 23-year-olds in the US. The average score is 50, and the scoring system is built around that. 50 is your baseline, and a 10-point difference shows how far above or below average you are. So 60, above average. 40, below average. Pretty easy. Higher scores can show off your strengths in certain areas, which can be a game changer for landing specific jobs in the Marines. You'll also get a percentile rank. This shows how your performance compares to others. For example, a percentile rank of 75 means that you scored better than 75% of standard test takers. Here's where it gets a bit more customized. The military uses composite scores, also known as line scores, to figure out what kind of jobs you're best suited for. These scores come from combining your standard scores in related areas. Each branch of the military has its own way of calculating these because different roles need different skills. The Marines use 4 different calculations to come up with the Marine Corps line scores. The first one is mechanical. It's formed by combining your standard scores on the arithmetic reasoning, mechanical comprehension, auto and shop information, and electronics information subtests. Next is clerical. This is made by combining your mathematics knowledge and verbal expression scores. Your verbal expression score is made by adding your word knowledge and paragraph comprehension results together. The third composite score is general technician. This is formed by adding together verbal expression, arithmetic reasoning, and mechanical comprehension. Lastly, electrical is the result of combining arithmetic reasoning, electronics information, general science, and mathematics knowledge. Each military occupational specialty, or MOS, has a minimum line score requirement in one or more areas. Be sure to do some research on what score your MOS requires. Talking to a recruiter can be helpful. They can provide you with the most up-to-date information. Then you can really hone in on the subtests that you might want to spend some extra time prepping for. Your Armed Forces Qualifying Test, or AFQT Score, might be the most important score. It decides whether or not you can enlist at all. Each branch sets its own minimum score, so you have to clear that bar to move forward. The AFQT comes from a combination of your scores on 4 key subtests. These subtests include arithmetic reasoning, which has basic math and word problems, and mathematics knowledge, which includes a variety of math concepts. The other 2 subtests are word knowledge, which tests vocabulary and word meanings, and paragraph comprehension, which measures how well you can understand written materials. Your AFQT score is a percentile ranking, meaning that if you score a 60, you did better than 60% of standard test takers. Each military branch has its own standards. Let's take a closer look at the minimum AFQT score that you need if you want to enlist in the Marines. You need a high school diploma or a GED to qualify for any branch of the military. The required score varies, though, based on which one you have. If you've passed the GED exam, you'll need to aim for a score of at least 50 for all of the branches. If you want to enlist in the Marine Corps and have a high school diploma, you'll need at least a 31. If your AFQT score is higher than minimum, that's great. This opens up additional job options, potentially more career growth, and maybe even some bonuses. So how should you actually interpret your scores? Well, here's the deal. If you're getting low scores in certain areas, it doesn't mean that you can't join the Marines. It just might limit some options when it comes to certain MOSs. For example, if your line score in electronics is low, a role in IT or communications might be a stretch. But you could still qualify for plenty of other roles. Make sure you review the score requirements for the specific job that you're aiming for. Meeting with a Marine Corps recruiter could also be really helpful. They can help walk you through the score requirements for different MOS options, help you understand what you've qualified for, and give you tips on how to improve if you need to. And if your AFQT score isn't at least a 31, don't sweat it. You can retake the ASVAB. The wait between the first 2 attempts is 30 days. If you need to retake it a second time, you'll have to wait another 30 days. After that, you'll need to wait at least 6 months between retests. So use the time that you have to your advantage. Interpreting your scores really comes down to 2 questions. Are you eligible? And what specific job are you interested in? If you have a goal in mind, it's easier to make sense of your results and set a game plan. Let's talk about some steps that you can take to improve your scores and better position yourself for the Marine jobs that you want. First, pinpoint weak areas. Look at which subtest brought your score down. Next, study smarter. Spend more time on the sections that you struggled with, especially the ones involved in computing the minimum line score for the MOS that you're aiming for. Using good study resources can make a big difference. Study.com's ASVAB test prep resources can help you with personalized plans and get you on track. In fact, 92% of users pass the ASVAB after prepping with Study.com. Taking a practice test can really help you zero in on what you know and what you don't. Watch lessons to review the material that you're less confident in. If you feel like you know a topic well, do practice problems and quiz yourself. If you notice that you're missing a lot, go back and review the lesson to make sure that you really know the material. A solid prep plan can really help you boost your score. If you're prepping for the ASVAB, consider using Study.com's ASVAB study guide and test prep resources and really zero in on what you need to study. And remember, even if you don't get the score for the role that you wanted, there might be other military jobs that would be a good fit for you. The goal is to maximize your strengths. And that's the rundown on ASVAB scores for the Marines. Whether you're just starting to study or already have some scores to interpret, understanding what these numbers mean can really help you begin your military career with confidence. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment with any questions or topics that you want for us to cover in the future, and don't forget to subscribe for more U.S. military test prep content from Study.com. Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video.